This is such a beautiful space, really. Just you can all feel it. You're creating it. I grew up in the country. We had 20 acres, but it was vast country around southeastern Pennsylvania, and it was Lenape country, and there was flint, a lot of flint in the ground, and a lot of people found arrowheads. I looked, but I didn't find any. But then when my dad got older, my mom was gone. He sold off 5 acres and built a house on it and found a tomahawk. I guess the wood wasn't there, but it was sent to the Reading Museum. And it was, I don't even know how you carbon date, and it was 10,000 years old. So you could feel them. Yeah. I rode my horse around. I always looked for them. Mm-hmm. They were there. So anyway, thank you for having me here.
Thanks for being.
So I'll tell you my experiences with past lives, and then we'll talk about you, because it's time to fully remember your true magnificence. When I was 14, my mom told me about a book she had read called The Search for Bridie Murphy. And it was about a woman who was haunted by feeling her children were missing. Something happened, and she eventually she went to Ireland and she found her children. She may have been 35 and they were 80. She had 6 children, one had passed. And it was even on a talk show. They brought these kids back for a talk show. It was Phil Donahue or something back in the day. So when my mom told me that, it made sense. And my lovely mother had answered some really big questions for me, like, where did I come from and where was I going? So it always became just part of my life. Later, when I was married with 2 daughters, my best friend and I joined an Edgar Cayce study group, and we would have parties at our house, come as you were parties.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
We dressed as we thought we were, and the kids joined in, my husband. And interestingly enough, later on, I found out that it really was true. And I did dress as a Native American. But you already know, and you feel it. So those memories are part of every decision you make. Your past creations give you your strengths and also show you where your greatest fears reside. They show you past patterns that need to be kept or the ones you must change in order to find freedom. Past life recall can bring relationship issues to resolution and understanding. So my life went on, and back in the day, one of the best parties I've ever been to or given was a big summer solstice party at our house, and there were 60 people and kids and families, and people slept in the yard. We had a sweat lodge. The guys built a sweat lodge in the back. A Swedish woman designed a maypole, did a maypole, taught us the dancing. And interesting, the Lenape chief at that time showed up at our house with full feathers down to his ankles. I wondered what the neighbors would think, but it was pretty secluded. Yard. Well, I remember standing there with him going, yeah. My life was great, and I was able to enjoy that out-of-the-box life, hiding in plain sight. That night at the party, I met a woman, and we became friends. As we spent time together, I would see these vivid scenes of other times and places, ancient Greece and Victorian England. It was over months, and it would just happen. And there it was, really strong. I realized how close to the surface our past memories are. She and I went to a psychic who told us that we lived endless lives together. And soon we realized that most of these lives were as partners, husband and wife, or 2 women together. And we also remembered we were always in love. And I said, this is not the plan. This is not it. This is inconvenient. I can't do this. This is not, turn my life upside down. Yet this was a destiny card if we were to accept it. After relentless grief about this, I ruptured my appendix and almost died. When I came home from the hospital and asked my intuitive friend, didn't I have a purpose with this family? He said, yes, of course you did. And you can go back to your family. You don't have to do this. But let me tell you something. Your soul level purpose and hers is to be together. So you don't have to do it, he said. I divorced. The family eventually forgave me and understood. For 15 years, Hamitra and I co-owned a center called Heart of the Goddess, and we lived happily ever after in the world beyond convention. Those past life memories deeply affected my reality and clarified my purpose. In spite of the pain my family and I experienced, remembering that this plan had been put in place between lifetimes made sense and comforted me. We have agreements, soul contracts to fulfill or pass by. You know you've lived so many lives on this planet. You've experienced the gamut of human experiences. We come as male and female, rich and poor, victim and villain, to learn what it means to be human and evolve and choose love a little bit at a time. Sometimes those lives are filled with pain and struggle. We always agree to our life circumstances before we arrive here. All the characters, places, and events are perfect for our growth. Are you kidding me, you might ask? There are many humans in our past and present lives that we would say, I didn't ask for that, mother, father, spouse, or other. That can't be true. But it's a perfect plan that you agreed to and will navigate. Not one of us has escaped pain and damage, and also bliss, as this is one of the most beautiful places in the universe. Earth is a unique, amazing, and difficult school. You've witnessed civilizations rise and fall, and you've been part of cultures that were far more evolved than our current world. And again, you carefully planned your lives as perfect scenarios to learn lessons and grow. You decided to come to Earth and live these lives of great contrast. They are, aren't they? They're kind of up and down. Eons before this, as courageous and wise, multidimensional beings, you learned that these times right now, these extraordinary times that were to come, you learned about them. And here you are. Here we are. I mean, this is it. We talked about this 20 years ago in our classes and said, it's going to be a big change. And, you know, it's reasons why and all that. And we're really in it, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, as I say, here we are. A past life author, though I can't remember his name, said that many souls want to be on Earth for this great shift of the ages, and only 2 out of 3 were allowed through the gate.
Respect.
So you made the cut. This is it. The era that's been foretold is here, and you are here as a vital part of this grand project. Jean Houston calls this the most dangerous time in the Earth's history and the time that offers the most opportunity. She calls humans in this life evocateurs of human becoming. She always says things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now we end the old order and begin a powerful new time, the dawn of a new age, a golden age. So sometimes we doubt, don't we, how golden it is, but it will be. And sidebar here, segue. I met a medium several months ago, and she just authored a book, and it was channeled from Archangel Gabriel. And she said, he asked her to go ahead 25 years in time. And she did. And she said, oh, it was so beautiful. So beautiful. It was amazing. The earth was clean. The water was clean. Can you imagine? I mean, we better imagine. And no, but she said that this was good. She said the governments were all around the earth were working together. It was a cooperative. They all around the earth and what to do about it and how to continually, be in this space. The current government, I think, was off somewhere fighting each other, eating each other on an island somewhere. But that was so comforting to me. So if we have clean water and coral reefs growing and everything in 25 years, in 10, in 5, in something that has to start, right?
Yeah.
So I shared this, of course, everyone I know and my family, and my granddaughter is a teacher of environmental science. And she just got her master's in environmental. She loves the earth. And I told her, and she was really relieved that I said, that's why you're here, So anyway, I had to share that. So you were called and you have the power to serve. You bring all your lives here, all your experience and wisdom. Now we all must rise to the occasion and be our greatness. As many have said, you are the ones you've been waiting for. When my partner passed from cancer and I had to process through a time of pain and loss, she still communicated with me and helped me write our book. I learned one of the most important lessons, I think, this life. And through a medium also. She would say often, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. I'd say, why was she thanking me? All I did was stay upright, wake up in the morning. And she said, by healing yourself, you have healed me. I had felt very mundane and small compared to what she experienced in her higher blissful dimension. And I learned the importance of our lives here in physical bodies, because many aspects of our evolution can only happen in these bodies. We're a vital part of the evolution of those in spirit. Your body, your emotions, your choices. Remember, we are loved beyond our imaginations for being embodied here now. My mother also said that to me. And it floored me that, here we are bumbling around, sometimes being tortured and, stumbling over ourselves, and that we are so vital to the evolution of those in another dimension. And the book by Rudolf Steiner, Staying Connected, the whole book, he's difficult to read, but he's so good. How we do influence how our physical form. So can't give up, right? So over and over you incarnate because of the contrast and the polarities of earth. It's why you come in spite of the pain and suffering. That's the test and the learning. I'm going to read you a letter. I wrote it for you and everyone, and it ended my book. I'm sorry. She's kind of with me, and I said my book. She said our book. Yeah. It reflects what I learned by remembering and revisiting some of my past lives and learning big lessons as I communicate with loved ones on the other side. So all your lives have led you to this life. So I'll read you the letter. Dear precious humans, it's true. This is a pinnacle lifetime for you, for me, and for our mother, the earth. This is the one that decides them all, and the universe is watching. This is the era that's been whispered about, written about, and known by indigenous cultures for millennium. We're in the time of the great shift, the time of the greatest spiritual evolution the earth has ever experienced. Now the plan for healing and regeneration unfolds as Gaia returns. You've come here to get it done. There's no way to emphasize strongly enough that every one of your thoughts and actions affects everything. It's critical that you remember who you are and why you're here at this moment in the Earth's history. You're being tested now by difficult times as we personally and collectively make this gigantic spiritual leap from the era of power and over and domination to living from your heart center. You are needed. We are all needed now. You chose this incarnation and your exciting assignment. You were born for these times and you're trained and ready. You arrive with many varied stories and dramas from lives that span all of history. They are your learning treasures, and you needed all those priceless experiences to help you grow and learn. But you are vastly more than those stories and much more than you ever imagined. Let your heart accept the dark and light of your humanity in order to rise to a divine understanding of your role here. Break those limits. You're part of earth and part of heaven, and you are connected to the entire benevolent universe. It's all inside, and you're here to remember that you are multi-dimensional superstars. There's no greater classroom or vehicle for your evolution than being in a body, but you are much more than your body. Take radical good care of yourself. It hurts others when you don't, and it benefits you, your loved ones, and everyone when you practice self-love and cultivate self-worth. It all begins with extreme care of your priceless body, which is the home of your spirit. It's a lot of work, isn't it? A lot of work. Oh. But the rewards are amazing. And without that, nothing else matters. Love yourself. That was my instruction. If nothing else, love yourself. How do you do that? That's a whole process. That's the first step to freedom and the foundation of everything else. Be yourself. That's better than good enough. Connect, connect, connect with heaven and earth. Once you remember who you really are, self-love and self-worth are easy. Choose a path filled with ease, humor, joy, and pleasure. We forget that we're here to find happiness, to dance, make love, create music and art, and play with our friends. You always have the answers available from the spirits of nature and your loved ones, guides, and angels in the next dimension. You're just human, living the human condition. Let them figure out the hard stuff. Just ask and learn to receive. Any small act of kindness or love from the heart toward yourself or another is exponentially powerful compared to acts of violence and hatred. The heart is mighty beyond imagination. If you only make one small positive step, it counts. It's a success. Some days that may not happen. You build your soul with those steps, and they multiply over and over. They are eternal. We're in the finals now, and the stakes are high. We don't want to say it's all up to you, but it's all up to you. This is the one that's going to decide everything. This is your chance to change everything. You can do this. We can do this. You must. You have to. Let's get it done. Think of the freedom it will give our souls. If we want our species to survive, if we are to find meaning in life, if we want to save the world and every sentient being that inhabits it, love is the one and only answer. Shine on, you crazy diamonds.